What is up, guys? I wanted to come on here and do a video about not really a topic, but something that I've kind of preached to everybody I come in contact with. If you talk to me at the Route 18 Tackle booth down there at the Niagara Fishing Expo, or you've talked to me at the marinas, or message me on Facebook or anything along those lines, or on YouTube, I'm always telling you guys, or asking I should say, do you do tournament fishing? And the vast majority of you guys always say no, and that you would be interested in doing them, but here's the reasons as to why you don't. And one of those reasons might be like, my boat's too small, or I don't have the latest and greatest in technology, or guys, I've heard a bunch. And my reply always is going to be, don't use that as a vessel to not do a tournament. Because to be truthful with you, I started off in a 19-foot Starcraft that didn't even have reverse. It had hand crank downriggers and the cheapest Lowrance fish finder you can find at Walmart. And I still fish tournaments. Did I lose? Absolutely. Did I make a lot of really funny memories? No question. Is it stuff that's going to stick with me to this day? Yes, absolutely. But the biggest thing is I learned in those tournaments. That's the biggest thing. I learned how to not fish with a fish hawk. I learned how to deploy my divers correctly, how to set out a copper line, how to read the cheapest fish finder that there is, and quickly realized I need to upgrade my boat because I need reverse. And the part to fix the reverse was a known problem in that year of Starcraft, and it was an extreme expensive fix, so we just elected just to get another boat altogether. And ended up going with a 21-foot Sea Ray, and keep that in mind, a 21-foot Sea Ray. And we're able to deploy multiple coppers, the divers. I got a really nice Garmin fish finder now. I do have a fish hawk. Still don't have autopilot, so that's a little bit tricky. But fishing tournaments taught me how to fish like that. And now that I have a fish hawk, and now that I have a really nice fish finder, it's kind of more luxury now for me. But if something happens to one of those tools, I know how to fish without them. I've learned different tactics and different ideas that work, and I can apply even with this equipment. But if this were to fail, I can fall back, and I know exactly what I would want to do. And that's because I had to fish like that for a while. So always my answer, absolutely do the tournaments. Like I said, I prefer to fish in a smaller boat in a tournament. That's because I can get from point A to point B real fast, and I'm not spending an astronomical amount in fuel. My fuel cost is way down. My footprint is much smaller. I can get to a lot more places a little bit quicker than some of the guys that have these giant boats. But do they have more luxury? Absolutely, there's no question. Some of these boats you can legitimately have a football game in the back of. But honestly, there's no boat that's the right size for tournaments, guys. The other one is going to be, I don't have the latest and greatest in technology. Again, it goes back to, I didn't have it. I know a lot of guys that still don't have it that fish tournaments. I still don't have an autopilot, and I love doing tournaments. Honestly, anybody that has these boats, guys, that have really good electronics, that have autopilot, that have, anything you could ever ask for on the boats, they started somewhere, and they had to work super hard for what they got going on. And it's a dedication, truthfully, too. They dedicate a lot of their time and a lot of their energy to learning fishing and learning everything about it, and going out and getting their captain's licensing, and really just doing a lot for the fishery, whether it's helping out in the pen projects, or the helping out with stocking, teaching, doing lectures, doing different things around the community to help bring awareness to the fishery. These guys are all doing it. This is their job 24/7. So they all started at one place or another. So you got to keep that in mind as well. And then the other thing is that the biggest thing that happens with tournament fishing is that you're number one, you're learning at a very rapid rate. You're going to learn a lot quicker and a lot more while fishing tournaments. It's just nature to us to learn a lot more when there's some stuff on the line, right? So in competition, you're going to learn a lot. In any sport that you're losing in, you're going to try your best to win that sport, and you're going to learn from your failures to try and make yourself win, right? So very similar in fishing. You're going to learn at a very rapid rate. And if you're losing, you're definitely going to learn a lot. you know, because you're gonna try and chase. You're chasing at this point. That's another human thing of us. Human beings love to chase objectives, right? No matter what it is. I'm telling you now, I could pinpoint things in your personal lives that you're chasing. You're trying to get to that achievement, right? It's the same thing in fishing. You're chasing an achievement, okay? And it's going to help you learn very, very fast. So learning is definitely going to be number one for me. The other one that's huge in this whole thing is making memories, right? I can tell you a whole boatload of memories that I've made while fishing tournaments. Whether it's my buddy having to jump off the boat because something got tangled up in our propeller, or going for a shotgun start, but my blade was down and actually kicked my boat up in the air instead of going straight, and it was real funny. You know, just the list goes on and on about these crazy funny memories. You know, Joey falling asleep and missing a fish. When he got to the fish, it was a little too late and the pole came back on him. You know, just random stories, man. These memories that just live in you. The hail cannons at the Oak during my first year down there, it scared the crap out of me. Literally thought World of Worlds was happening, but definitely wasn't, thank God. But I learned what a hail cannon was that day. But ultimately I learned a lot and I formed a lot of awesome memories. But the other one that's huge is developing the network. I say developing a network. You're making friendships out there. That's how I met Ben from Focus Fishing, was fishing the Wilson Harbor Invitational last season. That's how I met all these guys, really, was fishing tournaments. Even though I would go there and with the expectation that I was probably going to get my butt kicked, I still went. I had a good time regardless. And that's what it was for me. You know, it was all about meeting friends, having fun, creating awesome fun memories like camping in Wilson and Alcott, and you know, going out there trying to pre-fish and trying to come up with a game plan. You know, so much fun, man. It really is. And I swear, if you guys aren't fishing tournaments, you truly don't know what I'm talking about until you do it. So I definitely challenge each and every one of you watching the video right now, join one of these tournaments out there on the lake. There's so many of them going on, between the All-County Salmon Slam, the LOC Derbies, the Sunny's Derbies, the Sandy Creek Shootout, Orleans County Open. I can list these all day. The spring big boys, the fall big boys, the King of the Oaks, you know, Sandy Creek Shootout, Monroe County Offshore. I can just keep going. Join some of these tournaments, guys. I promise you will have a great time. You'll learn a lot about weather. You're going to learn a lot about the currents. You're going to learn a lot about water temperature, how to really read your electronics, how to utilize your electronics to the fullest potential. You're going to learn about the fish. You're going to learn about different things that may work versus may not work. You'll learn about your speeds, what different speeds may affect different things. You're going to learn so much. And in the process of learning, you're also going to make friends. And in the process of making friends, you're going to have awesome memories that are going to live with you forever. So get out there, go do tournaments, guys. I'm sorry I could ramble on about these for hours, but I'm not going to bore you to death about why I love fishing tournaments. I want to see you guys out there competing in tournaments. So I will see you guys out there on the water and hopefully in one of these damn tournaments. I'll see you guys later.